everything I'm about to say, you already know it to be true. You are a slave. You are a slave to money, to social economics, to status, to politics, to ideology. You have sold your soul to have a place in a world order that you should naturally oppose. All right, my brothers, all right, my sisters, whoever come through, I'm going to continue down this path, this rabbit hole of the 10 traits of a high-value man. This is what I'm going to be doing this week. Now, let me do my manners now. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. If you've been here multiple times, you haven't subscribed, man, come on, man. What you waiting on? What you waiting on, sister? Stop lurking in the shadows. Stop being ashamed. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and please hit that bell icon, because if you don't hit it, YouTube will not let you know that I released the video, because my channel is small. The participants I have are not triggered. They're not enough to trigger the algorithm. So if you don't hit the bell icon, you're going to have to physically check on my page every other day or so to see what I dropped. I mean, that's fine too. You know what I'm saying? If you want to just come check it out, just come visit. You know what I'm saying? But you need to visit, because YouTube is not going to let you know when I drop videos. So like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to receive notification when I do drop. If you want to send me some bones, you have Venmo at theblackalpha, you have cashapp at theblackalpha, and you have PayPal at realblackalpha@gmail.com. That's enough of that. And let's get into it. Today we're going to talk about number 7, power dynamics. Man, this is another topic like purpose that I really don't like talking about, because power dynamics is not something that's really understood by most people. And this is no shade towards Lucio. But, you know, when you start talking about power dynamics, you know what I'm saying, that sounds good. Every man wants to believe he's powerful. You know, every man wants to believe he's making power moves. But the truth is, power dynamics are bigger than the individual. They're bigger than the individual. You know what I'm saying? I mean, unless you talk about the power dynamics within your house, you know what I'm saying? Once you walk out that door, the power dynamics are bigger than you. The power dynamics is just an inverted pyramid, so to speak. You know, what you have at the top is at the top. Everything else is pushing down. So the only place you can really develop or manipulate or work on power dynamics as an individual is within your own home. Within your own immediate little tiny world, your own little immediate tiny circle. But that's not what Lucio talks about in his work. Let's go to his page and let's look at some of the stuff he said. He says number 7 trait of a high value man is that he knows power dynamics. He said power dynamics are advanced social skills, and you don't get to a high quality without being advanced in some crucial areas of life. And since humans are social animals, social skills is one of those areas where you need to reach an advanced level no matter what your chosen path is. Now, notice he's talking about social skills again. We touched on this also in video number 1. Social skills is very important. And I do like the fact that Lucio put that in there, that he's talking about social skills. And I don't know why you brothers don't understand the importance of social skills. You simply can, you look, your results a lot of times are simply because of the way you move throughout society, your social skills. As I said in video number 1, you don't become an incel with good social skills. It's impossible. I don't care how short you are as a man. I don't care how ugly you are as a man. I don't care how broke you are as a man. You don't become an incel with good social skills. And you don't need high education. You don't need a lot of money. You don't need to be 6'8". You know what I'm saying? You don't need to be you don't need to have a 36-inch pecker. I'm trying not to curse. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to have a 14-inch pecker. All this stuff to have high social skills. None of this stuff has anything to do with social skills. It don't matter how short, how broke, how poor, how uneducated you are. If you have good social skills, that will carry you far in regards to dealing with people, because we are social creatures. He's right about that. We are social animals, which means high social skills is really one of the only currencies you need to invest in if you want to become a high value man or a high quality man, as he also say in these pieces. You know what I'm saying? High quality men know what's fair and what's not fair, what's friendly and what's rude, and what they can take and what they will not take. You know, I mean, all that's fine and dandy. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get too deep into what he said because power dynamics, see, there's a problem with even talking about power dynamics. And let me show you what I mean by that. Let me come back over to my illustrations, you know, because when you start talking about power dynamics, you have to understand what you are really talking about. This is what you're talking about when you talk about power dynamics. Understand that. This is what you're talking about. You see that little bitty tiny man at the bottom? That's the masses. That's the regular folks like you and I. That's who that is. You see that man on top of us? That's your academics. That's your community leaders. That's your social leaders. That's your activists. That's those people. Not your government. That's your community leaders, your academics, your social leaders, your activists. Those are those people, right? Those are your Umar Johnsons, you know, your Minister Farrakhan's. You get what I'm saying now? Your Dr. Claude Andersons, your Dr. Boyce Watkins. That man on top of the little bitty tiny guy, the next man up, that's them. But you know who's on top of them? That's your government. That's your politicians and corporations. That's who's on top of them. The politicians and corporations. But you notice there's a foot on top of them. That foot does not represent per se a group of people, but rather the ethos that this whole structure is built upon. And the ethos that this structure, that this matrix is designed on is zero sums. Baddest channel on YouTube. Baddest channel on YouTube. Y'all got to share this stuff, bro. Because this is high teachings. The ethos of zero sums is why we have classes, why we have elitism, why we have hegemony or hegemony. Depends on, who's pronouncing the word. It basically means a top-down control structure. That's what it means. I'm going to pronounce it hegemony. Some people pronounce it hegemony. I'm going to say hegemony. The reason why we have hegemony is because of the ethos of zero sums. Zero sums basically mean that people have a ingrained belief that in order for them to win, everyone else must lose. In order for them to feel good about their life, they must stomp out everybody else. In order for them to feel like they have a position, because see, no position exists without being compared to another position. And where that position ranks is compared to another position. So for me to feel like my position is high, I'm special, I'm a high value man, I have to make sure that I'm comparing myself to something that's beneath me. And if they are not really beneath me, then I need to make them beneath me. I need to attack them and put them beneath me. I need to do all I can to make sure that they fall beneath me. Because that's the only way I can be high if something else is low. Now y'all understand the problem I have in general with these terms. High value man. I never liked that. And now y'all starting to understand why I never liked that. See, because I don't want to be measured as high above you because, I don't want to see myself that I'm above you. I'm not trying to be above the next man. I'm trying to pull the next man up. If I'm above you, I'm trying to pull you up. I'm not trying to stand there with my arms folded, beat my chest like, look at where I'm at, look where he's at. I'm the high man. I'm not trying to do that. If I crawl up, I want to pull you up. If I climb up another level, I want to pull you up. That's just the way I think. I want everybody where I'm at. I want everybody to be high. I want everybody to be of high value, of high standard. I want everybody to be that way. But the only way a high value man can exist is if he can compare himself to somebody that's low. And this is why we cut each other's throats. This is what power dynamics do to you. This is the power dynamics of this matrix, of this system that we live in. You have the ethos that create government, that have government and politicians. The only thing they think about is maintaining their power. You don't think it's strange that you have millionaires, and I mean, not just millionaires. I'm being a bit dismissive when I say millionaires. You have very filthy rich people running for political offices. You don't think that's strange? Why would a filthy rich person even care about running for government? Why would they want a job? Why would they want to even do that? Because their ethos is to maintain control for themselves, for them and their kind. And the only way they can do that is if they actively partake in politics. So our political class is full of elitists that could care less about the man they're squashing. And what happens is the dude right under them, our so-called leaders that's right under them, they are propped up because they just want somebody else to stomp on. I just heard Umar Johnson say that he is like the foremost, psychologist of black people in America. Who said? First of all, who gave him that title? Who said that that's the case? Where did he get this from? And he's measuring himself based upon his education that the white folks gave him. He's measuring himself against you, my brother, based on a pat on the back that he got from white folks that's on top of his neck. But he just want to be able to step on somebody else. And this is why at the very bottom, this is why black men and black women don't get along, because black women just want to be able to step on somebody too. And black men ain't got nobody they can step on, so we step on Pookie. See, we ain't got nobody else we can step on, so we step on Pookie, who is another black man. So you got Pookie being stepped on by black men being stepped on by black women being stepped on by black leaders and activists and everything, and black people being stepped on by the politicians, by the political class, and the entire system is ran on the ethos of zero sums. And this is why we don't help each other. Because the only way black women can have somebody step on is if they support the liberal, social, political, liberal side of America with all this insane rainbow stuff. The only way they can have somebody step on is if they support them, because they need government to give them that authority to step on us. They can't do it no other way. So they got to support people who don't care about them. They got to support causes that don't represent them. They got to support ideologies that go against them, just so they can have somebody to step on themselves, because everybody wants somebody to step on. Oh. This is what it is. This is what you're talking about when you talk about power dynamics. You can control power dynamics. I have other slides. I do have other things that I could talk about. Look at this slide here. Let me see if I can pull this up over here on the other computer so I can actually look at it while I have it up here. Right here. Let me pull this up so I can read it. You see, number one, who depends on whom for what? Well, good question. Who depends on whom for what? Shall I go back to that illustration of stepping on and stepping on and stepping on and stepping on and stepping on? Shall I go back to that? Because we depend on this system for everything. We depend on it for jobs. This is why I say when y'all talk about jobs, like y'all out there in the wilderness hunting for your food, like y'all actually spear diving for fish or some shit, chunking a big fish in the ocean and dragging them back to land or something, eating like that. Y'all talk like y'all are actually living in the wild. No, y'all are inside of a system, which means you depend on that system. And who controls that system? The people at the top. And what controls them? Their ethos. That's it. Number two, is this available from wherever, from somewhere else? At what cost? No. We can't, we can't get what's available in the system elsewhere unless you go do it yourself. That's the cost. The cost of it is freedom. The cost of it that you might have to actually learn how to utilize the earth again. Learn what you can eat again. I did that in video number 3. On the high value man takes care of himself. I talk about the food. I show you pictures of the forage food, of the foods that's growing wild. You would have to learn how to eat. You would have to learn how to build your own domiciles. You would have to learn how to do irrigation and plumbing and everything. That's the cost. It's not that you can't get it from anywhere else, but the cost is you got to do everything yourself. Whose cooperation is essential? Well, the cooperation we need is among each other, black people. But we don't have that because the black women are never going to go against this thing. They're not going against the power dynamics because they're not dead last. The man that's dead last don't even know he's dead last. That's Pookie. He don't even have an idea he's dead last. So you think you can only step on Pookie in your mind, right? You kind of vicariously step on Pookie. But black women really step on all us men. They step on black men. They really step on black men. See, we don't really step on black women. We could talk all the crap we want in these red pill spaces, but we don't step on black women. But they crush our asses all the time because they have more access to mainstream media. They have more access to mainstream accredited information. Whatever they say becomes truth. If they lie about us, that's the truth. If we try to rebut it, we just lying. That's a power dynamic you're dealing with, and you ain't gonna be able to change that power dynamic. What are the dynamics of the culture? That's the last one. What are the dynamics of the culture? What are the common goals? What reinforces or diffuses? What are the differences? How rigid? What are the stances of the parties? I mean, it don't matter. None of that matters if you can't get past, where's that? None of that matters as long as this is the reality. See, all that stuff sounds good, but none of that matters. The only thing you could do in this situation is either change the ethos at the very top, which you can't do, or remove yourself from the equation. That man at the bottom, that very little man at the bottom, let's say that's black men, black American men, all we can do is give him under the foot. And go out there and do for self. Go out there and learn how to live off nature again. Because as long as we are within this system, that is the power dynamic that we have to deal with. And there's nothing we can do to change that. I'm sorry to have this kind of video. I know this is not what you wanted to hear in these kind of high value men topics. You're looking for something that's going to motivate you, but I'm telling you, this is the dynamic. Now, you could try to sell out somewhere in between. You could try to get in where you fit in, but it doesn't matter. Because every level above you will still cut your throat just as quick as I don't know what. And you are expected to cut every level beneath your throat. You are expected to try to force people beneath you if you can. Everybody's job is to try to force people down. That's the power dynamic. Because it's zero sums. Remember, for you to win, others got to lose. It's a zero sums. So for you to be the special black man, you got to be above every other black man. You hear what I'm saying? For you to be the special black man, you got to be above every other black man. So that means you're going to spend your time trying to prove that you are higher than other black men or trying to force them beneath you. You're going to work with whoever you got to work with. You're going to work with the system, work with the FBI, work with you're going to do whatever you got to do to push us down. Just like black women will work with them feminists, them white lesbo feminists who are racist and don't give a damn about them, they'll work with them just so they can push black men down. So they can have somebody step on them. Because this is the founding ethos. That is that first boot on top of that man's back. The big boot. The big boot is the ethos that this whole thing is built upon. You can't change that. You can't change that. All you can do is remove yourself from the equation. You can't change it. And you're not going to rise up unless you think. Listen, the only way you can come from the very bottom to becoming a leader is if you are willing to try to get up so you can push others down. That's why I don't trust none of these people, bruh. I'm telling you, man, you said what, I'm not angry or bitter, but man, I don't trust none of these people because none of these people are trying to really take us away from this system. All they're doing is enjoying their privileged positions over you. And they enjoy that. That's enough for the niggas. See, that's the thing about niggas. We don't even want much. We just want to be above other blacks. That's it. We good there. If we can find ourselves above other black people, we happy. We happy. I like Lucio, what he tried to do there. But mentioning power class, you know what I'm saying? Power dynamics, that's one of the things that sound good, that sounds cool. Oh, we're going to talk about the power dynamics for high value men. Nah, bruh. You know, the only place you control the power dynamics is in your home. That's it. That's it. Once you step out, you are no longer in control of the power dynamics. Now the power dynamics are driven specifically by the ethos of the system. Everybody else is doing their part within it. On every level, it's the same dog eat dog type mentality. On every level, it's the same cutthroat mentality. Every level. And you rise up in this thing by cutting throats, by taking scalps. That's how you rise up, by taking scalps. And the more ruthless you are, the higher you will rise in this system. Unless you're a black person, you can only go so far. But as a white person, the more ruthless you are, the higher you can go in this system. So, I mean, I don't know what else to say, bro. You know what I'm saying? I think I made the point clear. I mean, it's really nothing else to say. It's really nothing else to say, man. So I'm going to end it right there, man. Look, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to receive notification when I drop more videos. You want to throw me a few bones, hit me at Venmo at theblackalpha.com, Cash App at theblackalpha.com, PayPal at realblackalpha@gmail.com. I mean, I think I said all I need to say. I mean, correct me in the comment section if I missed something. But I mean, I know this wasn't motivational. I know this wasn't uplifting, but hey, bro, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's the power dynamics that we live under. And we ain't changing that, bro. We ain't changing that. This is why we need to build a parallel society. The only way is out of this thing. On that note, I'll catch you on the next one, man. I'm Brother Kush, a.k.a. the Black Alpha. Muscle on.